Hello everybody and welcome to my first live stream on Rightmaver TV. Thank you so much for everybody's support so far, by the way, on the first couple of videos, especially the last one, obviously a proper, first bit of content I'd really released. So I really appreciate that actually. And yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just promote the live on various social medias. And then we'll get going. So yeah, I'll wait for a few people to join. So yeah, I'll give you a few moments. Post on on all the social medias, and then we shall get going, guys, because there's so much to talk about in this one. Nearly there now, just lost one now, and then we should be good to go. Quickly post on my last. So I think we're just about ready to go now. So yeah, let's get cracking then. So there's lots to talk about today. Like I said, I think there's been, obviously I'm going to be talking about Huddersfield Town's victory yesterday and reviewing that, and also then reviewing kind of the whole season, because obviously I've kind of come in at a time where I've not been able to talk about, to you guys about, what the season that we've kind of had, my thoughts on it really. So it'd be good to get everybody else's thoughts. If you want to comment, then please feel free to use the chat. And yeah, so let's get going then. So obviously, when the team lineups were announced, we decided to go with a 3-4-3 formation for this one. I couldn't really argue with that, really. I think that I like that formation as well, but I also like the 4-3-3. But this formation, I don't mind it at all. So yeah, I was happy with the formation. So we'll go through the team first of all. So obviously Nichols in goal, Tom Lees, Jonathan Hogg, and then Levi Colwill, Pippa, Scott High, Russell, and Toffolo. And then up front in the three, Dwayne Holmes, John Rose down the middle, and Lewis O'Brien. So yeah, I think that obviously my thoughts, going into the game first of all, obviously hearing, Carlos's press conference this previous day, we knew that we were going to be missing Sinani and Koroma, and obviously Sorba Thomas is still out of the injury picked up in the previous week. But yeah, having no recognised wingers really worried me in this one. I think that it did worry me because obviously we didn't have any out-and-out wingers. Hello there, T-Boys TV. Welcome. Thank you for coming in. So yeah, it did worry me that we didn't have any recognised wingers yesterday, but it actually managed to work out okay. And like I say, as well as not having any recognised wingers, the impact that Sinani's had this season with the set pieces, his delivery of the ball, it makes a massive difference because you know how much of a bigger weapon that has been this season. But yeah, it was a big miss to see Sinani not in the team. Obviously, Koroma's contributed a bit as well, so he's looked quite lively. Obviously, not the same player as what he was before his injury that happened last season, but he's still a player that'll give his all and will, create a few chances for you. Good that, yeah, finally. So obviously, I did have some technical issues with StreamYard. Obviously, I didn't realise that you had to request approval before being able to go live. So I would have been live for my last video, but unfortunately, I had to do a pre-recorded version, which ended up taking absolutely forever to download to my channel as well. So it just became a bit of a nightmare. But we managed it. We got there. But I'm really glad to actually have the live stream set up now. So yeah, if you would like to come in for a bit, you're more than welcome, by the way, Tyler. I know we're talking about Huddersfield, but yeah, and if it's appropriate for you to come on, obviously we've been a Luton fan, but it's up to you anyway. So anyway, like I said, the lineup was, I think the lineup was absolutely fine for this game. I think that barring Holmes, because anybody that knows me knows that I'm not really a big fan of Holmes, and it's nothing personal, by the way. It's just what I see on the pitch, really. His effort and application is so poor, and yeah, I'm just not. He just doesn't do enough in games. The fact that you see him walking around the pitch and not, getting stuck in and really, really, putting in the effort. I don't like to see that. I like to see players that put in the effort and really go for it, and show some passion and get stuck in. But Holmes just doesn't offer anything like that. And what we've seen of him this season, I mean, he's contributed hardly anything really. In like I said yesterday, we'll get into it in a bit, but yesterday he didn't contribute anything apart from one little moment that he had with a chance that he could have scored from, and that's all he did. You've got to be doing more in the time that you're on the field. Anyway, how long will you be live for? I'll be live for at least another hour. So yeah, if you want to come in and kind of probably maybe touch upon, because obviously I'll be touching upon the playoffs a bit later on as well. So I suppose that'll link you into it, because obviously Luton will be in the playoffs with us this season. So yeah, let's get into it. So obviously this game was a really exciting one for us all, really, because obviously it was a new ground, and actually, it was a nice stadium when we arrived at. Really, really impressed actually by the way the stadium is, and obviously inside and outside as well. It looked really, really nice. Yeah, you're welcome to join later. Just let me know when you can join, and obviously I'll add you in. So yeah, like I say, I think Coventry started the better side here in this one. But again, Nichols fantastic save once again early on to really keep us in the match. And that's not the first time we've said that this season about Nichols. He's just been phenomenal, and we'll get into that later in the season review a bit later on. Again, Coventry, in the first half, created another chance. Actually, O'Hare was on the end of this, but he actually shot wide, scuffed his shot a bit, really. And then this is when we started to get into the game a bit more. And obviously, the first real transfer was fell to John Rhodes, which I thought was quite unlucky, actually, because I think it was a great shot. And in all fairness, the keeper saved it really well. So yeah, that was where we started to build. But in all fairness, the first half was really poor, if I'm honest. We didn't really get going at all in that first half. I think that our passing, urgency was just totally off, really. But what we've seen kind of a lot of times this season is when we've not been our best, we've still been able to get the job done and score goals still, even though we've not been at our best. So I think that's a big strength that we've had this season. And yeah, like I say, so Harry Toffel obviously cuts inside and he absolutely strikes a thunderbolt into the top right corner. I was so impressed by that strike, actually. And watching it back, on the replays, more and more you see it, the more in love I fall in love with it. But yeah, I'm not, if you haven't seen it, by the way, go and check it out. It is a brilliant goal, to be fair. And I think that, again, we scored just before half-time. The timing is perfect. We go 1-0 at the break. We haven't played well in that first half still, but we're still going into the break 1-0 up. And that would have, that really did boost confidence going into the second half for sure, I'm sure. And yeah, so like I said, with the timing of goals this season has been really good. Like saying the previous game, obviously against Barnsley, we scored before half time. The timing of goal is massive, I'm sure you'll all agree. And I think that obviously, yeah, Toffolo, what a brilliant, he had a phenomenal season. But yeah, we didn't really perform to the levels that we can in that first half. But again, it doesn't really matter when you go 1-0 up. But it would still have been nice to have a better first half. But that's just me being picky. But yeah, the main thing is we went in winning. So yeah, into the second half, obviously, first chance actually fell to us, actually, in all fairness. And I think that, this was the Holmes chance that I was talking about earlier. Beautiful ball through, by the way, and obviously Holmes got on in. He took it around the goalkeeper. He did actually go too wide, which made it more difficult for him to score. And he did end up hitting the side netting, but good opportunity, good chance. But like I said, that was the only thing that Holmes produced in that game, and that just isn't good enough, really. Luton are getting Matt Ingram on an emergency. Oh, right. What club is he from then? Because I've heard of his name, actually, but I'm not sure who he's from. I'm presuming you don't trust the keeper that's in goal now, then, because I don't imagine that'll make him feel that great if you get unless he's injured, unless I don't really know the situation at Luton. Hull, but fair enough. Well, I think you've been unfortunate with injuries in all fairness, so at least you're going to be getting another keeper in that potentially will become a legend. But anyway, that we'll have to see on that one. So Hamer, Gustavo Hamer, had the next chance for Coventry. A shot from distance again. A fantastic save by Nichols. He's just a brick wall. He really is. There's no question here that there's not enough words to actually do Nichols justice. What he's achieved this season and what he continues to do week in, week out. He's just consistent and just an incredible player. But yeah, we'll get on to that in the season review in a bit. No, just if you. Oh, right, okay. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. So backup's always key, like I said. I think we've actually recognised that this season. Obviously, the depth of your squad is a lot. It's your safest bet, really, to have a backup keeper that has the experience to come in if required. So, yeah, fair enough. Like I said, we had the next attack. Scott High, like I said, beautiful cross in. And actually, their defender nearly ended up scoring their own goal, but actually the keeper saved. Then the keeper came straight out, but Lewis O'Brien got to it, and then he took him out, which was a definite penalty. We got a penalty, and Tino stepped up, which I'm going to talk about Tino Andrew in a minute, because I've been I think we all have kind of been disappointed with Tino so far. Obviously, when we signed him in January from Chelsea, he was injured. And it's taken him time to obviously find his fitness and really, showcase what he can do because of his, because he's getting up to speed still. But yeah, Tino steps up for the penalty and slots it right into the left-hand corner. Beautiful penalty. And we go 2-0 up, and we're absolutely on cloud 9 at this point. But yeah, like I said, it's the best we've seen. By the way, let's talk about Tino for a moment. And it's the best we've seen from Tino. There's no doubt about it. When he came on to replace Holmes and managed to do more than Holmes managed in less time. Maybe I've worded that wrong, but what I'm trying to say is Holmes was on the pitch for longer, produced one thing, and Andrin produced more, and he had less time to produce that. So that's what I'm basically saying. And yeah, it's the best performance we've seen from Tino, which has come at the perfect time because obviously we're heading into the playoffs, and we would have settled for that because if he can contribute like he showed yesterday in the playoffs, that'll turn around the disappointment we've had, since we saw him first a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, like I say, it looked so much sharper. It was just bouncing off players, and his skill and pace and everything. He was just causing problems. But yeah, well played to Tino. Great to see him produce a quality display, and I'd start him next week actually in the final home game. See how he gets on starting. But yeah, good journey down to Coventry Town. Yes, it was actually. It was quite a pleasant trip, to be fair, I think. So I went on the coach, and yeah, it was nice. It's not too far away really, Coventry from here. About 2.5 hours. Even though we actually managed to do, on the way back, we actually managed to do it in just over 2 hours. So we seem to get that quite quickly. But yeah, great. Like I said, great trip down. Beautiful stadium. I really like the stadium, by the way. I think it's a really nice stadium. And yeah, a really enjoyable day. We ordered 2 keys. Oh, right, okay, yeah. Fair enough. You've been really unlucky with injuries, haven't you, this time? It's really unfortunate, to be honest with you, but it's just the way it goes sometimes. Like I said, we've picked up quite a few injuries, but we're more hopeful that they'll be able to get back for the playoffs. So yeah, we'll have to see. Yeah, it's definitely a ground that's worth going to if you get the opportunity to do so, maybe in the future. But yeah, we might not even have. Oh, yeah, joking. That would be an absolute nightmare if you lose Adebayo. We know how good he's been this season. I'm looking forward to watching you guys on Monday, actually. Against Fulham, isn't it? It's a tea time kickoff. But yeah, yeah. So again, let's go back to the game. So obviously, conceding in injury time has become a really big issue for us at the moment. I think that obviously we've conceded quite a number of goals in injury time these past few weeks. Obviously, last week against Barnsley we did, and again the same theme happened here. at Coventry, even if it was a consolation goal, it still is kind of disappointing. Because obviously, it's something that we need to get out of, by the way. It's a habit that we've got into at the moment. And I think that it was poor defending, like I said, for the goal. And the lads put in a brilliant shift, throughout the game. But you've got to play for 90+ minutes. You can't afford to drop off in any moment of the game, no matter what the score is. And like I say, you can see how angry Nichols were when that goal went in, because he couldn't do anything about it. It was his defence that let him down, really. He kicked the ball upfield. But yeah, you can see how passionate Nichols is though as well. It's great to see. And Gyökeres, I can't actually say his name. I hope I've said it right, but he scored for them with good crossing by O'Hare, but again unmarked in the middle. Poor goal to concede. In all fairness, like I say, I reiterate the point that I said earlier. A fantastic away day. It's a new stadium that I've ticked off the list now. Because the weather was really, really nice as well, and we brought back the 3 points, which was even better. So, like I said, that puts us up to 79 points now for the season, and still in fourth. Results didn't go our way yesterday, no doubt about that. Bournemouth and Forest both winning their matches. And so the hopes of automatic promotion is over, unfortunately. But what an effort to try and get into that top two, by the way. I think we've really pushed. And, had we not slipped up on a few occasions recently, in the past maybe a few weeks, months, we may have been, we still have been in. But that's all ifs and buts and maybes. The lads, really did try to get that top two. You could see that there was really, whilst there was a chance, you always had it in the back of your mind, it could potentially happen. But like I said, the results yesterday didn't go our way. But the most important thing is we did our job, and that was the key. Yes, Fulham. I thought it was. Yeah, I hope you beat Fulham, to be honest with you, because I don't know why. I've just never been a big fan of Fulham, to be honest. They're such a yo-yo club, and I think that that's not why I don't like them. I just don't know. There's something about them I don't like. But yeah, we're going to move on to the season review now, because I've obviously spoken, with my friends and things like that about the season, but not actually had the opportunity to do this, as we only launched the channel last a few days ago, should I just say? Not last week, And so yeah, before though that we kick off the season review, I just want to send my condolences to Darryl Hobson's family. Obviously, if you follow us on our socials, obviously you would have seen that we sadly lost a Town fan who I had the pleasure of meeting a few times actually and speaking to. He was one of the most kindest people you ever meet, and obviously he really did battle right to the end. It was a true battle, and a legend. And I know that all Town fans who follow them, he knew everybody really. He was a really popular figure, and yeah, he'll be very deeply missed. So rest in peace, Daz. And yeah, really cruel. At the age of 31 as well, just far too young. It is just heartbreaking, really. But the tributes that that other fans have done over the last few games against Barnsley, and then yesterday it was brilliant to have a tribute for him as well, and with the banner that was one of the fans created for him, and also this team squad had a photo with the banner as well. So yeah, really sad, but all like I say, all the best to his family and friends at this really difficult time. And yeah, rest in peace, Daz. Thank you. So yeah, we're going to get into the season review now. So yeah, a few key points that I want to say. So let's start with this, in the build up to the season then. So obviously, we knew that we needed to get some more players in, and we needed to get the recruitment right this time. And didn't they just? we had, you know, the recruitment was outstanding, and that set the tone, as I'm sure you'll agree. And obviously, Carlos came in at a difficult time last season, and he had the chance to get a pre-season under his belt, get his own players in, and like I say, having the fans back helped massively. And you know, he's just got better and better as the season's gone on, really. And you know, tactically and his attention to detail, you know, it's made a massive difference. You know, and he's very focused and grounded. And I think that helps the squad as well, because he is one of those that won't get carried away and won't let the players get carried away with a result. And I think that's important to have in the dressing room. But yeah, he's a new coach. He's a really exciting coach, and he's really turned the tide this season. What an incredible job he's done. You know, it kind of leaves me speechless, as you can tell. But yeah, we're very lucky that, you know, we have him, and we're also very lucky that that we're not a club that just goes and sacks managers left, right, and centre. Now, I hate that approach. By the way, I don't agree with likes of, you know, if you look at the Watford model, you know, they just sack managers far too quickly. They don't give them time. We gave Carlos time. It's paying off now. So it's another big factor in this, and I'm really happy to see Carlos succeed, obviously, because even from the early signs that, you know, the early days when we saw him, well, you didn't really see him until this season, but I'm waffling again. But well, obviously with COVID happening last season, we weren't able to. Okay, Tal, I'll see you in a bit. Hopefully you can join in a bit as well. But yeah, what a job he's done, you know, and when we first, you know, kind of saw him, you know, obviously only on our TV screen because we couldn't go to games, but I knew he had something in him. We just needed. I kind of looked I looked at the bigger picture, really. I looked at what he'd come into, the players that he had. You know, you've got to have the players to be able to play the football that you want, and we've played so much better this season. So yeah, I saw between the lines, if you could say so. And yeah, I'm absolutely delighted for him, and I just hope that we can have the happiest of endings this season. I think this squad has been truly magnificent. Like I say, I think we've been excited. It's so exciting to watch this season, you know, at times. And like I say, defensively, again, this is massive. Defensively, we've improved so much, and with the signings that we've made, like I say, Matty Pearson's been a focal point. You know, Tom Lee's absolutely incredible. Colwell is coming from Chelsea, and he just plays beyond his years. 18 years of age, and I just can't believe that he's producing the quality that we've seen this season at that age. He's going to be a superstar in the future. And like I said, I've got some stats, which, by the way, once I get up and running, obviously I'll be able to add graphics as we go, you know, and be able to. But at the moment, the format is going to have to be like this until I learn how to, you know, add different features onto the live stream. So yeah, please bear with me with that, but that will be happening very soon. So, because obviously I would have liked to have shared these stats, but so we find ourselves in 4th place, 79 points. So we've won 22 this season, we've drawn 13, and we've lost 10. But if you look in between the lines as well, we have scored 62 goals, and we've only conceded 47. Obviously, our goal difference is really positive this season at 15, and that, you know, it just proves that, you know, because we've had to really, you know, we've had quite bad goal differences over the last few years, actually. It's nice actually to have a positive goal difference. We've also scored different types of goals as well. It's not just been the same, and obviously, like I said earlier about the set pieces have been massive. You know, scoring over 20 goals from set pieces, it's been a big thing for us. And We've also created a lot from open play. I'm going to just read some more stats out for you. So, once I did have my notes, but where it says about the. But yeah, we've been such a joy to watch, you know, and we've, like I said, we've scored a range of goals. Yeah, here we are. So from open play, we've been effective 53% of the time, and then set piece, you know, so that we've scored 33 goals from open play. Set pieces, we've scored 20, which puts that at 32%. Counter attack 6%. So we haven't really counted that much, but we haven't really needed to do that because we've usually been in control of most matches. So we haven't really set out like that in the first place. Own goals, 3, and like I say, it's one of those that. And we've had 2 penalties all season, which speaks volumes for decisions that we haven't really had, because we could have had way more penalties than what we've actually had this season. But anyway, that's going into something else that we don't want to go into. Well, we could, but we're not going to do that, because I think that, you know, all I'm going to say is I think the officiating this season has been so poor. It always is. It seems to be very biased against Huddersfield Town. I'm not just saying that because I'm a Town fan. I'm just saying what I see. I just want the fairness of the league. But unfortunately, we haven't had that this season. So let's look at the goal scorers this season. So obviously, we've talked about the defensive line and the signings that we've made in the defensive line, but also going further forward. So let's look at, you know, the midfield. So obviously, Jonathan Russell has practically been a new signing, really, because obviously he was in the academy. He's worked really hard over the summer. You can see that, and he's grasped that opportunity when he got it, you know, and he really has, which is absolutely fantastic to see. He's really flourishing in that side. He looks at home as well, and he's got so much potential to keep getting better as well. So, you know, a key component now on midfield now. Obviously, Lewis O'Brien, you know, what can I say about this guy? He's been absolutely phenomenal. You know, he's managed to reach a level that, not that I didn't expect or hope for, but he's managed to get better and better progressively over the weeks. And I just don't know how he does it. Because I think he's better playing now than he was at the start of the season, because he's just progressed. He's always hungry to improve. And I think that what he's produced this season has been nothing short of incredible. And yeah, another focal point, a real leader in this side, and we're lucky to have him in there, really. And then we're going to talk about Sorba Thomas, who his rise has been just magical. Let's be honest. Let's put it as magical. I think that, you know, he came from non-league last January. We signed him last January. Took a while to get going. You know, there's no surprise really, because it's a big jump up. But he's really put the work in this summer, and you can see that. And again, another one that grasped his opportunity when he got it, and he's just gone from strength to strength. He's been an absolute revelation this season. You know what he's produced, what, you know, the amount of games he's impacted, you know, the assists. He's just got everything, and I just can't believe that, you know, last season he was talking about, you know, a non-league player, and that's no disrespect to non-league, because I know that you can find some really great players in non-league, but I think for me it's the timing of how quickly he's been able to get to a level that he is at now. So yeah, full credit to him really for putting the work in the summer, and he's reaping the rewards now, and hopefully he'll be able to call himself a Premier League footballer next season, because I think that's ultimately what we deserve. I'm not being biased, but I'm just saying how it is. And then in the forward line, I think that it's really impressive, really, that what Danny Ward's done this season. I think that he had a lot of critics last season. I think that rightly so as well, because he wasn't really producing much, and now maybe he's got the better service. He's producing, but also I think he did have chances last season, but he just couldn't seem to finish. But he's worked hard in the summer, and he's come back stronger, fitter. He looks in great shape from when we first saw him last season. And obviously he's managed to get into double figures this season at 13 goals, which is a fantastic contribution. But I'm not just on about the goal. It's not just his goals that's impressed me either. Even though he's there to score goals and he needs to score goals, his overall contribution to the side as well. I think that his link-up play has become a lot better. He's winning more aerial battles now than he used to. And yeah, he's just been fantastic. So fair play to him. Really happy for him. Obviously, his second spell with the club. It's great to have him back. And yeah, long may it continue. Like I say, we need him in the playoffs, obviously, to get a few goals with, hopefully. And yeah, that's what I want to say about Ward. He's the top goal scorer for Town this season, by the way. And ironically, my not so favourite player, Holmes, has scored 6 goals for the season. Now, obviously, he has scored 6 goals, and that sounds, he's had a fantastic season. He hasn't. He's coming kind of dribs and drabs, really, in his form. And he seems to turn up when he wants to, rather than being consistent with it. So, yeah, he has scored 6 goals, but it hasn't really. And in fact, he's joint second top scorers this season with Senani. Senani, another one, coming on loan from Norwich in the summer, and he's really impressed. His delivery, his set piece delivery has been outstanding. Another thing that Sorba Thomas has worked on, you can see that he's put the work in. The assists he's got this season, incredible. And Senani is another one. Senani's been unreal. I think that he's getting better, but the fact that he's been able to contribute with goals as well, obviously with 6 goals for the season, has been really impressive. And like I said, I would be looking to secure his services permanently in the summer once the playoffs have finished, and hopefully we're all celebrating a promotion back to the Premier League. But yeah, and then Tom Lees, who is fourth, and well, third technically, because obviously there were 2 joint seconds, so yeah. But anyway, Lees has scored 5 goals. Really, that threat from corners has been massive for Tom Lees. I think that Tom's experienced. He's got everything. I think that he's really impressed me, and he's been really reliable. You're always going to get a solid performance from Tom. And yeah, he just, he does. He's never below 7 or 8 out of 10, every single week. And that's a massive thing to, credit to him really as well, because he's a great pro. You can see that. And yeah, so hello, Tyler. Welcome back in. Like I said, what we've achieved this season has been nothing short of incredible. It really is, because we never expected this. We never did, and I think that it's just been truly magical again. And this squad that we've got now is a squad that we can be truly proud of, by the way. I think that they give absolutely everything for that. They fight for the shirt. They give everything, and it's a squad that reminds me of when we went up in 2017. That togetherness feel, and it's just beautiful. The togetherness between the club, and the fans, the players and the fans, the coach and the fans. It's just amazing, and you can see that every single player cares, barring one or two maybe that I've mentioned, but we're not going to mention them again because I've kind of mentioned them enough, really. I want to focus on the people that really do put a shift in, really do care for this football club. I'm really proud to wear that shirt, and yeah, it's been magical. But Tyler, if you are ready to join, I'm happy to get you in, and we'll start discussing the playoffs as we look ahead to the playoffs. Now, I think if I post this, you can just join from the link, can't you? I can't remember. Oh gosh. Sorry guys, I'm back, don't worry. Pressed the wrong button. So I've posted I'm going to post the link into the chat. I think now you'll be able to join, Tyler, if you want to, or whenever you're ready, because I can keep waffling on, as you know, for ages. But so yeah, like I said, looking ahead, obviously we've got an exciting, it's really exciting time around the club at the moment. But we want to finish the job off, and we want to get promoted. And that's the ultimate aim now, because obviously we didn't expect to be there, but now we're there. We really want it, and we had such a great season. And I think that, like I said, we've really got unfinished business in the Premier League. I think that when we went up that first time, we didn't showcase truly what we could do, especially the second season. And I think we've just got unfinished business then, and it'll just be absolutely a fairy tale again to get back there. Because I think when we got relegated, I think that I didn't think I'd ever see Town back in the Premier League for I don't know. I won't say not at all, but I'd kind of say that I didn't expect them to be back in the Premier League anytime soon. Let's say, or if So the fact that we're on the brink, and we really are on the brink, because going into the playoffs, semi-finals and things, you really are on the cusp of promotion, as we all know. But anyway, we've got Tyler back. We've got Tyler in the which I'm going to get him on in a moment, if I can figure out how to do it, because I'm not sure how to. Oh yes, I do know. Yes, you just click on you and it comes up. But yeah, we're going to talk playoffs now, because obviously it really is on the horizon and closer than we think. It'll be here before we know it. In the meantime, I'm just going to get the table up, so we can just have a look here. And we're just going to get Tyler in now, who's really grateful to coming on here. Let me just have a look. Hello, welcome. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining, by the way. It's great to have you. So before we talk about the playoffs then, I want to kind of talk about the game on Monday, first of all, for yourselves. Because obviously, why not? So obviously you go to Craven Cottage. It's always a tough place to go, Craven Cottage, but they're still beatable, by the way, even though they're top of the league. What are you thinking ahead of this one then? Because obviously, I feel so sorry for you guys, really, because of the injuries that you've picked up at this time of the season, and it's so unfortunate, really.
Yeah, it's a difficult one to predict, really, because I was hearing that they haven't actually won the league, but then due to Swansea drawing, they just haven't lifted it yet. And obviously, this game they'll be all out trying to do that. It's a difficult one. Like you said, it's not impossible to beat them at their ground. Teams have gone there and done it. Yourselves, Coventry done the double over them. Forest the other day. And, so it's not impossible. We're both fighting for things. So it's one of them. Obviously, that they've already won the league. But like I said, they want to lift it in front of everybody at home as well. I believe that's their last home game as well, I'm pretty sure. So, they want to end it on a high at home. But we just, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I don't really know who's back. I've seen certain people training. Clark's back. That would be good to see. Hopefully he can start in this game, because every single time he started, like pre-season, he looked really good. And ever since then, he's just kicked on, and he's just been that attacking spark, that we've needed at times, a lot of times this season. It's one of them. I can't really judge it, because I don't really know who's going to be back. obviously the news coming out, like I said in the chat, we're bringing in a whole City keeper emergency on loan. It's one of them. It's a difficult one because Isted, you know, he's a very good keeper. He's a very good keeper. We haven't seen him put a foot wrong. You know, he's you know, getting on. He's not, you know, he's like 26 or something. You know, he's been at Luton for years. You know, it's just he's never really got the chance, unfortunately. But the chances he has got the chance, he's done well. You know, Chelsea in the FA Cup, and then obviously, what was the one the other day? Blackpool. So, you know, he can. It's a difficult one because then, say if he was to get injured, and knowing our luck, that would happen. You know, we need to bring someone else in because otherwise, that's a youth goalkeeper. You know what I mean? You don't want to be playing youth goalkeepers in the playoffs. Like that's just
unfair, really, on that keeper. Really, you know, that's been you know, if you get thrown in the deep end, you're not going to perform to your best, are you? So it doesn't make any sense to do so.
Yeah, exactly. It's a difficult one. Like I said, you know, it's because this goalkeeper. Yeah, I've heard he's good, that sort of thing. I'm looking at some of his games this season, and he was in goal when we played them. You know, the free kick couldn't have done anything. You know, but some of the goal, like there's stuff that game that made me a bit wary. Like a lot of people, like, yeah, he's very good. And another thing you got to remember, you know, he's not got the not the experience. He's not got the what's the word I'm looking for? Like he's not played with his team. You know what I mean? So, you know, this is not really the time you want to chop and change. And I understand, but in a way, I understand that we bring in someone in because, like I said, with that youth thing, but it's a difficult one. It's a really difficult one, and you know, it's just annoying because obviously Shea is injured. Steer, who we actually originally got on loan from Villa, obviously got that injury against Chelsea, and he'll never be playing for us again unless we buy him or something. You know, it's a difficult one, and you know, obviously I know we'll get more into it, but on the playoff situation, I don't even know how we'll do because I don't even know who we'll have. Do you know what I mean? Like the other day against Blackpool, you know, you could tell we was missing James Bree or even Fred. Like Kyoto's been brilliant when he's come in, but that was one of the games where he looked a bit shaky for me. So yeah.
This is, you know, like I said, this is the problem, isn't it? And obviously, are you mathematically, you know, kind of in the playoffs now? Is from my understanding, no, you still have to.
I think we need like 1 or 2 points. I think if Huddersfield and I believe it's Millwall or Blackburn, it's 1 or 2, or maybe even all 3 of them. If they were to not get any points yesterday, we'd be in it or something. But I think we only need 1 point. I think it's only 1 point we need.
Yeah, let me get the table up now and let's see this. So obviously Borough have got 70 points. They're 7th. Then Sheffield United 6, 72, and then you got 72 as well, 5th. So Borough, you know, look really dangerous. I won't be surprised to see them sneaking. You know, I really don't. But I think they will. We'll have to see. But So let's talk the playoffs then, because obviously it'll be here before we know it. By the way, because like I say,
I know. Trust me. Yeah,
it's going so quickly as well, and I think that in the playoffs it goes like that. You know, it really does. So obviously the final game next week, and then obviously we get into the playoffs the week after. So I mean, it's exciting, but it's also nerve-wracking, you know, because we know what's at stake here, and as fans of both of our teams, it means so much, you know, and I think that obviously it'll be interesting to see who gets who, because obviously we still don't know this at this moment, but they're both going to be fantastic semi-finals. I'm sure you'll agree on that one.
100%.
And you know, I just can't. I'm excited, but I'm so nervous about this because it's just too nerve-wracking. But if you would have said that we were in the playoffs at the start of this, you know, I would have took your hand off. So this is the reality. Yeah. This is a bonus we didn't expect.
Same here. I'm in that boat, you know what I mean?
Exactly same here. But we still get nervous about it because, you know, it's really. So obviously, do you have a? I know that, you know, I don't like talking about favourable routes and things like that, because any game in the playoff, whoever you get, is going to be difficult. But do you have a more favourable team that you'd like to, you know, kind of see in the semis, and then if you get through that in the final?
It's a difficult one. Are we basing it on the teams in there now, or just anyone that can still go in?
I want you to base it on the fact of who you think is going to get. For example, if you think Borough's going to get,
right,
you know what I mean.
Okay.
So based on
so
who you.
At first, I'll say the teams I think will get in there. I actually think the way Forest are going, I actually think they're going to get second. Now, I know they've got Bournemouth on Tuesday, and that's going to be massive.
Yeah,
that's basically second place on the line when you really think about it.
Yeah.
But I just think the way Forest and it's weird because it's been ever since the Luton game, they've just been absolutely hammering teams. Swansea, as much as they haven't been overly great this season, recently they've been decent. Like to go there 5-1, it was 1-1 at one point as well. So, the form they've been on, I actually believe they'll get second. I really do. So I think it'll be Bournemouth. Do you know what? I'll do it in order. So Bournemouth third, you lot fourth, us fifth, and I actually think Middlesbrough will get sixth. I don't really rate Sheffield United a lot, to be honest.
Sheffield United struggling, aren't they? They are struggling, and they're looking to still.
I've watched a couple of games, and just some of they have really good opportunities, and they love to fluff it. Like I remember, it was an early kickoff a couple of weeks ago. They played, it was Bournemouth or Fulham. It was 0-0. I think it's Bournemouth. And they were at home, and they had a very good chance. Like, I know it's a centre-back, but, even the commentators were saying, you've got to be doing better there. He's had so much space, and he's blazed it wide. When they drew to Bristol City, 1-1, I think it was as well. That was a late kickoff after Luton played Cardiff and all the other games. And I watched that after, and, they had a good chance there, space, and he's blazed it over the bar. Like, I don't think they're good enough. I really don't. I think this manager's going to slip up as well. Like, I don't really see the hype, if I'm being totally honest. And I just think they're going to slip out. And I think Middlesbrough, they haven't. Well, the last couple of games have been all right. Before that, they were a bit like shaky. But, I think they'll climb their way back in it. Millwall, I think it might be a bit too late for them now. So, as I said, I think it'll be Bournemouth third, you lot fourth, us fifth, and Middlesbrough sixth.
Yeah, I kind of agree with it, but the thing is for me, because we've liked playing Sheffield United over the years, I don't really want to see them drop out, but I'm just having to be realistic here in this, and I just don't see them staying in it, unfortunately, which I hope isn't a bad omen. But anyway, we'll have to see. But obviously, I can't, Forest, Forest, if, like I say, I think the game on Tuesday will decide second, like you say, I think, obviously. But then, how will Bournemouth fare in the playoffs then if they do drop down? Because they're a team that obviously have got big players and they're a great side, but they are struggling at the moment. So are they going to be interesting? I know we can't really say, but it'll be interesting to kind of, I don't know, because there'll be a lot of pressure on them to still go up, by the way, even if they
definitely.
They seem to struggle with that pressure. Then they've struggled with that over the last few weeks, I think. But I don't know. You just don't know what to expect in the playoffs, like you said. But if we do, I think that we'll, I think it'll stay, maybe. But I think Borough could get in there now, like I say. So Sheffield United drop out.
Because I'm looking at Sheffield United's next fixture as well. That's Fulham. Like Fulham might be on the beach, but still, they want to be breaking these records, in my opinion.
Still going to be out, I just can't. And let me just see who.
Just quickly, the annoying thing is, I think they're one goal off getting 100 this season, so they're going to do that tomorrow against us. It's just typical.
Gosh. So I'm just looking at who Middlesbrough have got. The fact Preston away. It's a lunchtime kick. Oh, well, they're all 12:30, aren't they?
That's a difficult one to predict because Preston have been awful. Well, I know they got a win yesterday, but that's against Barnsley already down. But like before that, to lose that heavily in a derby to Blackburn at home was a bit.
Yeah,
they're good. They're decent at home, but it's just I don't know. I think Middlesbrough. I think Middlesbrough will do it. It might be a tight game, but I think they'll edge it.
I think they'll have enough, for sure. So I think on paper, I think that, I think Borough may just sneak in there, like you say, and obviously then we're into the playoffs. I hope we play not just because, no, not because of the like I said, I know that a few of our fans have been quite saying it's going to be easy to play you guys, but I want to play Luton as well because not because it's going to be easy, but it'll get you. You know, I'm presuming I'll be coming down there, and you potentially might be coming up to the Albert Stadium. I don't know, but anyway,
I should definitely be going to the home one, the away one.
It'll be great.
I should hopefully be as well. Yeah, I should.
Yeah, so like I said, it'll be great to meet up again for sure. And then, but yeah, it's hard to say really in the minute. It's just crazy the playoffs. I think form goes out the window as well in these games. But yeah, we'll have to see. But yeah, I think that's pretty much.
I'll be honest. I actually think it is going to be us.
How do I didn't mean to click that. How do I get? How do I get that comment off the screen?
Oh, what the wait, that comment or the banner?
No, hang on. Let me just. Oh yeah, there. You just click back off it. So yeah, it'll certainly be an interesting end to the season and the madness of the playoffs. I really can't cope with any drama, but we know that Town's going to provide with drama, so we know that this is going to be expected. But
and the thing is, my dad actually said a couple of weeks ago, he said he reckons it will go right down to the wire, and it is between us. You look at it, well, I say more like Luton, but you lot are chilling. You lot are definitely going to be in it. You know,
yeah, we've kind of pushed away from that. That bottom, 5th, 6th place, but yeah,
it's the injuries, man.
It is. I think that it is unfortunate, like I said, and I think that obviously, you want to have the best squad that you can have out there, and obviously, we're still hoping that Sorba Thomas comes back in because without him, it's gonna it's really going to be difficult because what he's produced this season, the impact he's had, it's going to be a big loss. But like I say, obviously with you've got number of people, players out, which
literally every single position now. I don't know if Adebayo is going to be back for tomorrow.
What do you put these injuries down to, by the way? Can I just ask it? Because obviously it's very strange to have injuries come all at once. I know it might be a bit of bad luck or whatever, but how have the injuries occurred and what's because I've not really known much about the injuries that you've obviously got. So have they been in training? Or have they been in match situation? Have they been in matches or?
They've all been matches.
Right.
All the ones recently have been matches.
Right.
So I think the thing with Adebayo, I think it's just, I'm not going to lie, I think he's been overplaying. There was literally a game the other day, not the Blackpool one. Well, he did in that one, but there's one before that. I think it's the home game before that, whoever that was. It might have been Forest. And he was sitting down. He's proper tired.
Yeah.
Right, rest him. Do you know what I mean? Rest him. And then obviously Jerome only come back against Blackpool, so if need be, his experience can kick in. He started to do that. The start of the season, he was poor, but as soon as he, started to use his experience and help out the team, he's been brilliant. Like I said, I think Bree might be the season. Fred is not as bad, but I just don't know when he'll be back. Hopefully it'll be the next 1 or 2 games, seriously. Goalkeeper situation, like I've said. All our centre-backs all right. Yeah, I think they're all good now. And that's pretty mad to say because, boy, it's been Pete Ruddock's out. I think Lansbury's out. And that's 2 midfielders as it is. We're just in problems. We're in absolute problems.
It's because your squad's quite small as well, isn't it? From my understanding.
Yeah. Compared to a lot of other sides.
Yeah. So again, it's that problem that obviously, with the budget that you've been able to spend and things like that, that's where that comes into obviously. And obviously, that's if you would have had more money to spend, you'd have been able to maybe cover these positions a bit better than maybe no disrespect to the players that obviously come in, because obviously I'm not one to comment on that because I don't really know them enough to comment on them. But from my understanding, the depth situation at Luton hasn't been ideal, obviously, because obviously you mentioned the injuries, so obviously the cover that's coming in, they're still brilliant players, obviously, I'm presuming, but they're still not to the level that you need to maybe have a contribution like the likes the your starting 11 that would have started the season, for example. So
like the thing is, right? They've all, like, there was a game, I think I said it to you anyway, but I haven't said it on here. There was a game, Preston away, right? And we had no Adebayo that game. And back then, we was like, oh, if we don't have one or two players, we've lost. You know what I mean? And we knew, like, we was through the little away sort of bit before you go up to where your seats are and that. And we were like, yeah, we've lost this game. Like, we've lost this game because he's not playing. Now everybody puts in a shift, but like I said, you could tell Blackpool, as much as there's controversial decisions, that goal at the end should have stood. Can't believe the referee apologised to our manager at the end. Like, that's just an absolute disgrace. Like, we should be getting 3 points from that. Either way, though, we weren't good enough. We was not good enough. You could tell on that right-hand side, we was missing Jamesbury or even Fred. Kyoto's been brilliant since we've recalled him from MK Dons, but that game, that showed where you're missing somebody like that. Even Burke as well. He's been very good on that right-hand side with Jamesbury, with the linking up. So Burke's been on the right side of centre-back, right? But sometimes he's been going higher up than Bree.
Yeah.
They communicate with each other, and it look, they do it well. We could tell we was even missing someone like that. So that's probably my main concern out of all the injuries, because Adebayo, yeah, obviously that would be missing that, but at the same time, he's been overplayed. And I think that is why he's got this injury. I really do. I don't think it's really bad compared to like other seasons. I don't think it's a season injury. He might even be back tomorrow. But, just stop overplaying him. Do you know what I mean? Like, stop, please stop overplaying him. Like, he's literally playing him for like a full 90 minutes. Why?
I see what you're saying.
Every game. He just...
I think as a manager, though, you probably get caught up in the moment because obviously you know how good he is in that side. So you want to play him all the time because of what the strengths he possesses.
And then he's getting all this stuff thrown around that he's apparently doing, which I'm not saying he's not. But, like, there's stuff like, apparently one of our experienced strikers, Danny Hilton, shout out himself, even though there's been games where he hasn't overly been great, but he's got the experience. He's trying to talk to Adebayo, give him advice, and that. Apparently Adebayo weren't having it. And then there was a time when we scored against Cardiff away, he weren't really celebrating, which was a bit weird because he's always on that train. There's a few stuff going around, but I just think it's because you're overplaying it. Maybe not the advice thing, but like the celebrating, like, it might not even have the energy. I know it might sound a bit stupid, but do you know what I mean?
No.
Like, not fully have the energy to go over. And the advice thing, like I said, you can't really... I don't know. I just think you're overplaying him. I do. I love Nathan Jones, like legend and that. Legend of how he's turned this club around. People always mention, Stoke, though, he went there. You're not going to turn down a former Premier League club. Like, let's be serious now. And he's come back to Luton and look what he's done. Look what he's done. Do you know what I mean? None of us Luton fans, no Luton fan can sit there and tell me they expected us to be in the playoffs. There's no way in hell. My prediction, right, was 10th. That we finished 10th because we were originally, obviously this season has been crazy, but we're originally, since we got back to the Championship, just taking small steps. Obviously the first season, the relegation thing, that was because of Graham Jones. I mean, he's not a manager. He's a good coach, but he's not a manager. Some of the stuff he said, like when we lost to Fulham, they've got a bigger budget than us. Even though it's 3-2. And then when we lost to Nottingham Forest, they're former European champions. Yeah, when was that? Like, there was just up, and then he was like, without this player, Easy Brown, I think he's at Preston, but he's injured. He's like, without him, we're not winning games. How can you sit there and say that? What confidence does that give the other players?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I think that, but to be fair though, I think the first season, I think you've progressed kind of nicely, really. And I know you've jumped quite a big step from last season, but that first season, back, in the Champions, obviously it was always about staying up anyway. Let's be honest. Obviously. The actions of the manager, obviously, I wasn't too much aware of that, but that doesn't sound great. But
and then Nathan Jones come back. bosh, stayed up. And then ever
Yeah.
since then, we've just been taking small steps. You know, last how many seasons we've been in it now? 3 or 4, I think. Yeah, 3. Is this the 3rd season? I think it is. But anyway, finished 12th last season, and this season we just wanted anywhere above 12th. So, you know, there you go. You know, wherever we finish, even if we don't. Well, I will be a bit. Don't get me wrong. I will be annoyed if we, because we can still get out of the playoffs. You know what I mean? I will be annoyed if.
I think
you'll
be good. I think you'll be gutted more than annoyed though, because I think that I think that annoys maybe the wrong way. I think gutted would be because it's the fact again what I mentioned earlier. When you're in that playoff picture and you're really close to getting to somewhere that maybe you never envisaged to get to, what if it goes away if you lose. You're just heartbroken, aren't you? You know, you are, because it's just in touching distance, it's taken away from you. So
I'll just be very disappointed because we didn't expect to be in it, but come on, like how are we doing it there? But I can't, like I said, I think we only need like 1 point. So
I think you're right.
I'm not trying to disrespect Reading. In the past, they've been a bogey team. Not this season though, but in the past they've been a bogey team, and they'll obviously want to try and upset us. You know, it's that they try and make it a derby. For me, it's not really a derby, but they're going to try and frustrate us. But if we don't get a result tomorrow, I expect, I know I might sound a bit greedy in that and disrespectful, but we should be winning because Reading ain't got nothing to play for now. Do you know what I mean? They're not going up, they're not going down. Whereas if we don't get any points there against Fulham, then I expect 1 point at least, because we're at home. We're good at home this season.
Yeah, exactly. I think that Reading, though, again, I know that obviously barring, the season
and
where...
That's no disrespect to Reading, by the way.
No, I'm not saying you are, because in all fairness, what I was about to say is that Reading are such a poor side, though, let's be honest. I think that they always seem to be, apart from when we
in a way, they're lucky that the teams below are worse.
Yeah, exactly. And as I say, I think, they're always a team that seem to be down there more often than not. Barring obviously when we played them in the playoffs that time, I think they've been down there since. They've always seem to just survive. So that I back you to win that one really, but you just never know.
Another thing I do a lot, just quickly, is I look at reverse fixtures. So I look when we played them the last time this season. I beat them 2-0. Yeah. I remember that midweek. I went to it pretty comfortable game, to be honest. Now, I'm not saying, it's last game of the season. Sometimes they can be mental games. But I just think we should be winning them sort of games. And I'm not trying to disrespect them. You know what I mean? I'm not. It's just the situation they're in compared to us. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we get no points against Fulham, which is a high possibility, we have to be winning this one. We have to be getting at least a positive result. That's not a loss. So I'm not going to go on about that for too long. But yeah,
it depends how the game pans out. Really, I think that's what I think that if you on paper you should be beating Reading. Let's be honest, and that's not just being disrespectful. That's just looking at the table and thinking, look,
that's
Reading. It's what it is. It is what it is. Reading,
exactly.
Poor season, and you've had an absolutely incredible season. So, but the championship never ever works out, and we think they're a team that try to frustrate you as well. So you'll be tearing your hair out one point.
They'll definitely, they'll absolutely try that.
Oh yeah,
like I said,
we'll have.
They'll want to ruin our hopes because, as I said, they're not far places from each other. So they'll try and make it a derby, like all these other teams sit there and do with us. But yeah, there you go.
I mean, Reading's not even anywhere near you, really. My geography's not even bad, but Reading's even past London, saying you're not even at look. You're not even you're like before.
Trust
London.
Me, they love to say we're rivals with the London clubs. You know what I mean? They love to say it.
Very strange, but anyway, it's been great to obviously have you on. Obviously, be interesting to see, like I say, what will happen from now until for the remainder of the season, and obviously into the playoffs where it gets a bit tasty. I
honestly think it's going to be us two against each other. I really do. The way things are going,
I don't want though, because like I said, you know me that I wanted us both to go up to Premier League. That's the
Yeah.
because I kind of like, I really like, but I'm going to put it out there, guys. I think Luton are a fantastic run club. I think that the fans are great. I'm not saying just because Tyler's on, but they are, and I like the overall feeling. You know, and you know the story that the journey that they've been on, the story that they've got, it's just incredible.
Yeah, exactly. You've got to respect that.
I respect that, I really do, and I think that's where the respect comes from my side. But yeah, what was I? I've lost my track of thought now. Well, hopefully
I think you said about the playoffs how you wanted us both to go up.
Yeah.
Obviously
Oh
not.
yeah, I did. I really did, but unfortunately, that's not going to happen. Unfortunately, this time. But as I say, it will certainly be interesting to see who plays who, which will soon be revealed, obviously. Thank you for coming on, by the way. I really like that. If you want to plug yourself, where can everybody find you? Because, like I say, the power of YouTube made me found you. So tell everybody where.
T-Boys TV. Obviously, I've been commenting in the chat. That is literally my YouTube channel. I do have another YouTube channel as well, T-Boys TV Extra. I did post a little video on that. That was just basically just re-uploaded my vlog from the home game against Fulham and put that on there and just put last time we played Fulham. So if you want to check that vlog out, that is on T-Boys TV Extra. Obviously, it's on my main channel as well. But yeah, if you want to find it even quicker, it'll be on there. But yeah, if you could subscribe to both them channels, it'd be much appreciated. And turn on the notification bell. And thank you for bringing me on.
No problem. Like I said, please do go and subscribe to T-Boys TV. I think he does post fantastic content. I'm not just saying that because he's here still. And it's probably going to be awkward, but your channel's growing by the minute, and it just shows the hard work that you're putting in, the content that you're producing. Is to a very very good level. So I appreciate everybody. It's worth it. You won't be disappointed, guys. You won't.
Yeah, subscribe here first. Actually, you can't. Don't just go over to me. You know what I mean? Subscribe here and then go here. I mean, then go to me. Sorry. So yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, but yeah. Thank you again for for coming on. And potentially do some more stuff for you in the future, of course. But
no, it could be a preview. Could be a preview very soon. You know what I mean? Honestly, I think it's going to be us two against each other. I really do. I think we keep this 5th place because, like I said, I'm looking at Sheffield United. They've got Fulham, which Fulham might be on the beach. It depends what happens, but they still want to break records for me. And I think is that their last game? That is their last game, isn't it? And then Middlesbrough. Just have a quick look at theirs. Preston, like we said. So I think Middlesbrough getting there, and I think it'll be us. I think we cement this 5th place, and you.
We'll be meeting again. Well, we shall meet again in the playoffs for the third and fourth time respectively. But whatever happens, I hope it doesn't go to a penalty shootout because I cannot.
Oh God, no, not with us. No. We're awful at penalties. Trust me. We even lost to Stevenage on penalties. You know what I mean? I don't even want to go there.
We love penalties, but it's just the drama of it. I can't go through that again. But yeah, I'm sure that something drama will happen. But anyway, that's for another time. But yeah, as ever, please, if you are new to this channel, please go and subscribe to me. I'd really appreciate that. Like I said, only launched a few days ago, and yeah, it's not the best content at the moment. I'm not going to lie, but I've started somewhere, so
slow progress steps.
Yeah, I want to keep progressing.
And now you can do live streams, so the Premier League predictions will be more interactive.
Yes, I agree. Like I say, it wasn't ideal, but I wanted to get something out there, for a few days out because otherwise it would have just been a bit annoying. But anyway, thanks again for coming on, and I shall see you all on the next one. And cheers, bye.